We live in a world where billions of people are on the internet today. And if you're not taking advantage of the internet as an entrepreneur, you're making a major mistake. Today I want to share with you 7 tips that I've learned to build my own online empire. So listen up. The first one is to beware of comments. No matter what you do on the internet, you're going to find people leaving negative remarks. You can't let that affect you. You can't let that disturb your soul. And you have to understand that a lot of people are just sitting at home making remarks. They don't sometimes have validation based on what they're saying. And so you have to be aware of these kind of comments. I can tell you that there's been a lot of people who say certain things that don't make any sense at all. You have to write them off. And you have to understand that people are going to make comments no matter what. So move on and get past those negative comments. The second tip is to engage with other people. I see many online entrepreneurs just posting content, but it has no likes or shares or comments. And so you want to post compelling content that draws people in and forces them to engage. You have to create compelling content that attracts people to your brand so that they know exactly what they want when they ask for your help. After receiving thousands of comments online, I can tell you that it's not easy to respond to every single one of them. But if I see someone that is very interested and really loves the work that I do, I'm going to be sure to engage with them if I see the comment. Now, not all comments can be seen, not everything can be read, but you have to understand that engaging with your prospects will help you to build a greater business. I was talking to an entrepreneur the other day, and he was telling me that he tends to ignore certain comments from people he doesn't think would pay. I told him what a horrendous mistake. You know, those people can connect you with people who can pay. He immediately decided he was going to reach out to them again, and he found that I was right. There are many opportunities from people who might not be able to pay, but you have to be able to see that. If you focus on people, the profit will come. The third tip is to avoid charlatans. There's a lot of people who claim to be something that they're not. All of a sudden, someone became a 7-figure entrepreneur, and last year they weren't even close to those goals. You have to be able to understand exactly who you're dealing with and do the adequate research that can help you to find these results. A lot of times you run into people who are wolves in sheep clothing. They seem like they want to help. They seem like they're legitimate. They seem like they're innocent, but truly they're out to get you. Let me give you a clear example. If someone one day has 500 Instagram followers, but the next week have 50,000 and they're selling Instagram services, but yet they have no engagement, then you have to question that. You have to realize that this is not a real person, and you have to begin to search for people who are. The fourth tip to building an online empire is to create your own content. A lot of people borrow content from other people, videos and articles and quotes, and that's okay once in a while. But if everything you're posting is related to outside of your business and created by other people, how's that going to help your brand? True brand creators develop their own story, and they have certain mechanisms that allow them to get their content out there so that people can buy into what they do. Now, when you're starting out, you might think, well, I don't know how I'm going to create my own content. I never did it before. Well, what you should do is begin studying other people's content and ask yourself, how can I do something similar for the people that I serve? Once you create your own content and put your own signature touch on it, people are going to believe in you, and they're going to buy into your story and eventually buy into your brand. And this will help you do better business in the long term. My fifth and one of the most important tips I can give you is to automate relentlessly. Imagine if you can go about your day, hang out with your family, or just do business outside of the internet, but have 10 posts per day without you even trying at all. Well, of course you have to set it up way in advance, but if you automate, it will allow you to express your brand without even trying. Now, if you don't have the time to do this yourself, you can search for someone who can. Hire an office assistant or even an intern and give them the content beforehand so that they can automate it for you and you can let them do the work. You see, when you have the internet working on your behalf, you can do what you do best, which is running your business. The sixth tip is to post many images. If you're an internet entrepreneur, you have to understand that people want to see results. So if you're saying you're a relationship coach, but you don't have a picture of your wife or your husband, that's going to draw a lot of controversy. So make sure you take a picture and show people that you're actually in a relationship that works. In fact, the other day I saw a guy on YouTube and he was saying that he was in real estate and he had all this commercial property and he has hundreds of videos, but I never even saw any of his real estate deals. He never took us to any of the sites, any of the properties, but he always claims that he's a multi-millionaire through real estate. How are we ever going to believe people if they don't show us the result that they create? The internet wants to see your face, especially if you're selling your personal name as a brand. If you're saying your name is John Smith and you have one old picture of yourself, that's not going to work. You're going to need dozens of pictures and you're going to want to show people exactly who you are and what you're about. Now, if you have a business name for a brand, you want to show people what that business is like. You want to post many images associated with that business so people can say, you know what, I trust that. I see that you do good work and I want to do business with you. The seventh and final tip is to use catchy headlines. This is one of my favorites because you want to build excitement, you want to build curiosity and anticipation so that when someone sees a headline, they say, you know what, this looks good, I gotta click on that. And they do it without even debating. However, if you're using $1 million headline, but you're delivering 50-cent content, it's not gonna work. So make sure you deliver based on what your headline is actually saying. Don't say you're gonna talk about something, but you don't do it. Make sure you discuss exactly what you're going for, so when people click on your videos, when they click on your articles, they get exactly what they want. In summary, in order to build a profitable online business, you've got to give yourself at least 12 months. A lot of people go into it thinking, well, I'm just gonna do sponsorships, I'm gonna do affiliates, I'm gonna sell online, I'm gonna publish an ebook and sell millions of dollars worth of products and services. But I can tell you, my friends, that it doesn't work like that. Only for a few people. But what I want to tell you is that you gotta be patient. You gotta understand that there's a process. And you're gonna have to post hundreds, even thousands of times before you see the kind of profit that you want. So keep on doing what you're doing and build your online brand. And make sure you subscribe to this channel so I can keep on giving you more.